All right, I guess we can tease next week.
What is it?
This one.
You've been talking about this one.
Yeah, what about Fleetwood Mac, Rumours?
Fleetwood Mac.
But this one's especially held in high regard as one of the, seminal great albums.
Don't Stop. That's not Don't Stop Believing, right?
No, that's Journey. That's different like that.
Well, nothing looks familiar to me right now, so I'm very excited.
It's up now,
all these pictures. It's like a fun yearbook.
Yeah. And I think there's some kind of interesting stories about the band and, drama behind the scenes and...
Ooh, I love drama.
Hookups and breakups and things of that nature.
That's fun.
So we might...
Not for the people involved. That's drama.
All right. So that's our episode. All right, hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle, and this is our latest episode of Classic Albums 101. I've got Jana with me.
Hello.
And this is the show where we talk about a classic album in rock history. Usually it's one Jana hasn't heard the full album, maybe she's heard certain singles from it, but it's a new album for her.
Yeah, so first our process is that we listen to one song first that you pick, and then we go off our merry ways and listen to the whole album and then come back and talk about it. So the song that we're listening to today is...
Yeah, I've picked The Chain. This is one of my favorites from the album. I think there's a small chance that you might know this one, but I think it could be fun anyways.
When you gave this in the last classic albums, and I'm like, I don't know any of these songs. And then last weekend you were playing your music and I started singing along to this song that was playing, and you're like, you know this song? And I'm like, yeah. I don't remember what the song was.
Yeah.
And you're
Go
like,
Your Own Way.
Go Your Way. And then you're like, this is Fleetwood Mac, Rumours. And I'm like,
yeah. It's a pretty famous album, so you'll probably know several of the songs even if you don't know them by the name.
I'm excited.
So let's play it.
What if I don't know it? Then I'll feel lame.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I hope you don't know it.
I want to know it. I don't know why.
All right.
I want to sing along.
Let's see. Okay, this is The Chain.
I probably won't know the words even if I do know.
I'll pull up the words just for you.
Okay.
Karaoke style.
Yay.
Listen to the wind blow.
There
that
you
was
go.
fun.
Yeah.
I had heard that before.
Yeah, I figured.
I couldn't place it in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I can't. I'm like,
I don't.
is this the part where they do this, or is it where they do this? Because it's no secret on this channel, but I like to imagine songs that I hear in various movies that I've seen.
Yeah.
Or various types of situations, like as the background music, or as the accompanying music, I should say. I couldn't think of this where it was, but I have heard it before. I don't think I knew, and I would not have been able to sing along because I don't know any of the words.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have known it well enough to do karaoke, even if the lyrics are right here.
Okay.
But what I love about that song is its beat, it's bass drum, and then it's bass.
The bass guitar.
Yeah,
part.
guitar. That was great.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, I love this song. I think it's a classic. It's one of my favorites from this era. Just a really cool song. Just has almost like a southern rock kind of feel almost at the beginning. And then just a really cool chorus and just really goes off really well.
And choral singing too with lots of harmonies.
Yeah, lots of harmonies. Great. And this is a cool band because they have multiple different singers and they harmonize and different ones take leads at different times. So cool aspect to the group, certainly. So really cool classic song. What more can you say, right?
Yeah, cool classic song.
Cool classic song.
That's the name of our
CCS.
next series. Cool classic songs.
So, yeah, I guess from here we're just going to transition over to listening to the full album and talking about it. So
here we go. Special effects.
Here we go. Wash over. All right, so we're back.
And we're back.
So we've heard the song. We did the chain, a reaction to it. Now we're back after having separately listened to the full album. And now we're going to give our thoughts a little bit about Rumours by Fleetwood Mac. So I like to give a little bit of a background before we get into our
This is the
favorite
101
songs.
Part where we go over the basics.
Yeah, which isn't very informative. It's just me dictating what I saw in Wikipedia pretty much. But just a little bit, just to give us some context about what we're talking about. So Fleetwood Mac is a British-American rock band formed in London in 1967, founded by guitarist Peter Green, drummer Mick Fleetwood, and guitarist Jeremy Spencer.
That's where Fleetwood comes from?
Yeah, before bassist John McVie joined the lineup for their self-titled debut album. So they kind of started as a British group, but then later on, somewhat of a hybrid between British and American members, which is kind of cool. So they started...
International cooperation.
Yeah, they started mostly as a British blues band, but then added on Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, American folk rock duo, to the group, which added that folky, more Americana type sound to their repertoire. Really, they asked Lindsey Buckingham first to be their lead guitarist, and then he agreed only on the condition that Stevie Nicks could also join, because I believe they're somewhat of a couple. Which there's a lot of that surrounding the history of this album
Lindsay
too.
Was a girl.
No, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, the addition of these two members really brought them into more of a pop rock, more commercial sound, and so that's when really I think they kind of took off really in the popularity, especially here in the States. And Rumours, I believe, was their second album as this configuration. They had a 1975 self-titled album, Fleetwood Mac, that reached number 1 in the US, and then Rumours in 1977 is this album, which is a legendary album that a lot of people hold in high regard as one of the best albums ever made, really, at least in this
We're
genre.
going to rank it with all their other albums, right?
Yeah, we're going to rank it on our list.
I'm excited to rank it.
See where it goes on our list, so that should be a lot of fun. And there was a lot of behind-the-scenes drama, I guess, about the different band members and the different relationships with the band members. I guess there was breakups of relationships. Like I said, I think Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks were a couple, but then went through some breakups during this album. So a lot of the lyrics and things are colored by that situation. I think Christine McVie also was married to John McVie, right? And they ended up divorcing as well. There's a lot of that baked into this record.
Breakups make for a lot of music, so
yeah.
They give you emotion and people create great music out of it because everybody relates to that.
It's kind of interesting that this album is so widely acclaimed, but did come after a lot of strife within the band, I guess. Yeah, that gave a lot of things that people could relate to, maybe in the lyrics and in the content. So, and it's just, good songs are good songs. So I guess that's probably enough background. Want to get into like our picks? Usually we do each give like our 3 favorite songs.
Yes.
That we liked on the record.
Let me see.
So, do you have a pick?
So, Never Going Back Again, because I liked its like folksy little feel.
Yeah.
It felt like it would be like a background song playing in the middle of like Disney World resorts or something. I don't know. It was like a weird connection that I made. But I liked that one a lot. I thought that was just really lighthearted and like fun. So
yeah, that's a good one. I like it. It talks about it as a gorgeous song with bubbly SoCal philosophies about relationships. One of the songs that Lindsey Buckingham wrote in wake of the breakup of his relationship with Stevie Nicks. So inspired by that. I mean, Never Going Back Again. You could kind of take what you mean.
I really like the sound of it. Like like picking
the acoustic guitar picking, the folkiness of it. Yeah, I really like that piece too. It's really cool. What I like about this album in general is just like, I don't know if I've even heard this full album before this project, but going through it, I felt like I knew every single song as they were coming up. I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard this before. It's one of those albums where like every song is a pretty famous song if you're knowledgeable about like classic rock and classic music.
Of all the albums that we've like listened to, all these classic albums, this is the one that I've known the most songs from. Yeah. So it's
hard to know from just the titles, but yeah.
Yeah. I remember looking at the album and I didn't recognize any of the titles just by the song title, any of the songs just by the song title. But when listening to the album, I had heard Don't Stop. I had heard... what was the one that I just said?
Go Your Own Way.
Go Your Own Way.
Yeah.
I had heard Songbird. And I think I had also heard Dreams.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And I feel like I might have even heard Secondhand News and Never Going Back Again. Like, I feel like I've heard a lot of them.
Yeah.
They all sounded a little bit familiar. Except, like, towards the end of the album. They were
some of the later pieces. Familiar. Yeah, that's fair.
But, all right, what's your pick?
Sorry. I mean, I tend to do this often because, obviously I'm the one who selects the song we react to. And I usually select one of my favorite songs on the record. So The Chain is probably my favorite song on the album. Just a really cool vibe to it. It starts a little bit slow and that like folky, almost country-ish sound to it. And I love the harmonies on it. I love there's like a cool bass solo like partway through that's like a really fun part. It's basically there's like 2 or 3 different distinct parts to it that are just all really cool. I like the extended outro and just it's a really fun, cool, interesting song that I just really, really appreciate. I think it's one of the more collaborative efforts on the album. It was credited to all the members of the band writing it, whereas most of the other tracks on the album were written by specific members. So I think it shows that it's a more collaborative song that involves all the different singers, all the different players, and it's just showcases their style.
That one was great. It was just it had like a heavier feel to it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
more intense.
Because a lot of the songs on here are a little bit lighter and folkier, and some ballads and things like that. But just has a bit more of a beat to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the 2 songs that I knew, Go Your Own Way and the other one,
Don't Stop,
like those are great songs, but I'm not gonna pick them.
Okay,
I'm gonna pick the very first one. Secondhand News.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
That one. I just enjoyed that so much. Is that the one where they need to go back and get their stuff or something? I don't remember.
I think that sounds right. Yeah, that's like, part of the lyrics.
That was cracking me up. I thought that was funny.
Once again, talking about the kind of breakup between the 2 of them. So,
but I really liked that song because I liked the sound of it. It actually sounded like another song that I can't quite place, but I really enjoy it, and it was happy sounding, and it was, even though it's about a breakup, but I don't know. I feel like if you give me a positive sounding melody, I'm gonna like it no matter what the lyrics are talking about. So I really enjoyed that one, Secondhand News. That was a good one. Yeah, a good like start off.
Good
to the
opener.
Album.
Yeah. Definitely a highlight of the album. I like that one too. My pick, I think, is You Make Lovin' Fun. I like that one because it has a little bit of like a funky kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. It has some clavinet and electric piano. These great chorus with a dreamy vocal, a really strong track that I'd forgotten about, but once I heard it, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I've heard this before. It's focuses on Christine McVie and her vocals, so it's a pretty cool little song. Just really has a funky, cool vibe to it. One of the more upbeat, kind of fun tracks on the album, so I really like this one a lot.
That's a good one.
That's a fun
I
one.
like that one too. I agree.
Cool.
With all of that.
Thanks. What's your
third,
other pick?
Is Songbird.
Oh yeah.
And I love Songbird. I had heard that one before, and I actually had to Google where I had heard it. Mm-hmm. I guess there was a 98 something like something.
Yeah,
somebody
98
Cassidy
cover
or
version, Eva Cassidy or something like that.
But that's not where I know it from. They covered it in the show Glee, and it was great and beautiful. And so when I heard this version, it was stellar and lovely and very fun to sing along to. So like as a singer, I really enjoyed it because it's just vocally interesting and vocally fun too.
Yeah, it's a good one to sing. Yeah, it's a good singer's song.
Yep.
Yeah, I might have had that in my contention too. I really love that song too, and it's just kind of sparse and just focuses, like you said, on those vocals, a little bit of piano and like
it's simple
acoustic guitar. It's a simple song, but it's just really a beautiful melody. It really sometimes it's nice. I'm the prog guy who has all these complex musical like crazy things that I listen to, but sometimes it's nice to just pare that all back and like just focus on the melody of the song and just like really hear the beauty in their voice as an instrument. So I really like that too. And maybe it's an obvious pick, but probably my other favorite on the album is Go Your Own Way, I think. Probably one of the most popular songs and somewhat of a classic rock staple. Yeah. Just a great sing-along, galloping kind of beat and more upbeat and fun, and just is a really cool showcase for the group. I like a lot of these tracks, but that was one that just stood out because it brought back memories of hearing it back when I was younger, and it's been a popular song that I've always liked. Yeah. So I like that one, and it's just every track, like I said, was just, oh yeah, I remember this one. This is great,
So good.
And I like bands where they have multiple different singers. I think that's a cool feature of the group. There's really 3 different lead singers throughout the album, and they each get a chance to shine, and they each have a hand in the writing, and so it's really cool to have this collaborative effect, even if like some of the members may not have been getting along or were broken up at certain points. They still were able to create this great music. So it's a cool story, cool album, and a great band. So
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yep, I did.
All right.
Ask me where I would rank it.
Yeah, so this is yours, and then underneath is mine.
Boston.
At least that's the way I have recorded it down. So, yeah. It seems like you're going to rank it high, but is it number 1 or?
Well, I have Boston. Boston is number 1.
Yeah.
And as I was listening to this album, I thought this is going to be my new number 1 album. But then Boston was amazing too.
Yeah.
Boston.
Trying to remember what songs are on that one.
Yeah.
It's really solid. It's great too.
Yeah.
These are like 2 staples of they're both like made around the same time.
I think I gotta go with Fleetwood Mac.
That's your new number 1?
My new number 1.
Wow.
I just enjoyed it so much.
That's
Not
cool.
that Boston isn't great. Like all the Southern music is great.
Yeah, these are all classics, so they're all, it's like splitting hairs. Like these are all, like many of them are 5-star albums, but it's just the little nuances of trying to pick one over the other.
It's like picking the 5 best Pixar movies. They're all great.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Yeah, that's an interesting comparison. Well, for me, on my list, once again, I feel bad because I keep like
How dare you?
I'm ranking lower than you, but
how dare you?
I do really love this though, and it's right in the mix with a lot of these top choices. I still don't think I can really break up the top three, which I have as Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, Abbey Road by the Beatles, and then Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. Three of just like my favorite all-time classic albums that I think are definitive, like amazing albums. Then we get into a little bit of where it's tricky, because I think this album and Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy, and Boston, self-titled, they're all like right around the same lane for me. They're all kind of circling around each other. And so where to slot these amongst those choices? I think I'm going to put it at the bottom of those. I think it's number 6, just after Boston. But it's close. I really love the record. And so, I'm sorry.
You get to put it where you want to
Yeah,
put it.
it's
all
tough.
right.
They're like neck and neck. You know, maybe next episode I'll like retroactively switch them. I don't know. But they're really close.
Well,
So
cool.
these are all amazing. Like I said, I consider all of these like 5-star albums. These are all.
I wonder if like my list is more like the more songs I've heard.
That's
the
probably
higher it ranks.
that's
I don't know,
probably
'cause
a
I'm looking
fair
at
thing.
this and I'm like, all the ones of songs that I've heard before, like
Yeah.
they're all at the top.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's interesting.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
I think there's probably some correlation there that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, it's just what I like.
Yeah.
I like what I like.
Yeah. There's something like comforting about hearing something familiar. And it's like, oh yeah, I love this song. I remember this song. And when you're hearing something new for the first time, since it's just your first listen and it's like, oh, I'm not sure how I feel about this yet. You know, it's hard to compare that like first time listen to a song versus a song you've heard like dozens of times just on the radio or just growing up in different ways, you know? So maybe it just is a sign you need to listen to some of these more, and maybe they'd raise up and up your list.
All right. I'll do it.
All right. So I guess this is the time where we
What's
tease next month's. And I wanted to say quickly that I'm considering next episode to be like our season finale.
Oh, yeah.
The last episode, I think, of this year that we're going to do. But we're going to continue the series, just restart.
Not till January.
Yeah, restart in January next year. And basically restart our ranking list. Because I think the more we add to our list, the harder it is to remember.
Yeah.
Like some of the early ones we did. So I think it might be fun to just kind of wipe that slate and like start ranking on a new set. And like every year kind of do a new list of favorites. So each year is kind of a different
Next
season.
time is the season finale. You better tune in.
So I wanted to pick something.
All right, what is it?
Something good that I thought would be a good worthy one for the finale, and I went with this one.
This is one I know. Well, I know. Wait.
Yeah.
I know Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, yeah.
Because who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
I've seen Wayne's World.
I've seen Wayne's World.
That was where I first heard Bohemian Rhapsody. I'd never heard of it before.
I'm sure many people,
Yeah.
that's their first exposure to it.
So is it just these 5 songs?
No, it starts here.
That's the name of a song?
Yeah, Death on Two Legs.
/
Dedicated
to?
Yeah.
This is Queen, by the way.
Yeah, Queen, A Night at the Opera.
A Night at the Opera.
Which I would say is probably their most famous album, right? So
I don't know.
it's a classic.
I don't know much about Queen except for what I've seen in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, the movie.
Wayne's World and...
Yeah, this is well known, of course, for having Bohemian
Yeah,
Rhapsody,
what else?
but I think it's a fun album in total. I think it'll be fun to... There'll probably be maybe 1 or 2 other songs you might feel are familiar.
I might know.
Yeah. But beyond that...
Oh, I think I know Love of My Life.
You're My Best Friend is another pretty famous song that you might know. So there's a couple.
You're my best friend. Is like that how it goes?
Yeah, I think you've got it.
Cool. I'm excited. This is going to be good.
Yeah, so I thought that would be a fun one to end on because I think...
Did you buy this new?
It's pretty...
It's
yeah, this is one I bought...
pristine condition.
Yeah, I bought this one new. So, back in the early days of wanting to buy all these classic albums. So, good choice.
Great choice.
All right, I hope that'll be a fun one.
Here you go.
I'm excited. Queen Night
Yay.
at the Opera, one of my favorites. Just, I guess, spoiler alert. It might rank real high. No, I just kidding.
Do you think it'll take the top spot?
I don't know. Tune in and find out. It could be in contention. I just kidding.
We'll see.
All right, so thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. We've had a lot of fun. This is really just a way for me to be able to listen to music with my wife and show her some great albums. So glad you guys are on the ride with us.
Because I didn't listen to full albums. I only listened to singles. I still only listen to singles. So whenever here's a whole album, I'm like, this is so many songs.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
So yeah,
I'm having a great time. This is really good.
Yeah. I don't know if it's our most popular form of video, but it's a lot of fun for us, so we keep doing it.
Yeah.
So,
really love it.
Leave any suggestions of classic albums you'd like us to cover in the future in the comments below.
Let's spin the wheel.
Your thoughts about Fleetwood Mac Rumours and what your favorite songs are from it. We'd love to hear it. So, thank you guys for joining us once again, and just please keep enjoying the music. Bye.
Bye-bye.